Hi everybody, I am here to do a little tutorial on making molds with amazing mold putty, and then doing the resin part. So I don't know how long this video will be or how many parts it might end up being, but I'm going to try to go as fast as I can. So the amazing mold putty, I'm shooting from a different angle today so that you can actually see me working, comes in 2 canisters, and you need to take out equal parts out from each one. And you kind of look at what you want to mold and eyeball it. And I would strongly recommend that if you're going to do this, you're going to do a lot of experimenting with the first batch or your first 2 cans of the putty. So I would actually recommend that you go ahead and order 2, because you will go through the first one kind of experimenting. You want to have equal parts. Looks like I might have just a little too much yellow there. Plunk it out. And they say to roll it in a ball. I generally don't do that. I eyeball it. And that looks about right. So then you just pick it up and just start blending it together, folding and squishing until it's pretty much completely yellow when you see that the gray part has blended into it. Now, it doesn't take a whole lot of time to do this, and you don't want to overwork it because it does start to set up pretty quickly. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So then I'm going to roll it into a ball and try to make sure that there's no seams in it. And I usually have to press down with it in my palms to do that. Okay, so I've got my ball there, and I have this old brooch. It's actually made of resin. I didn't make it, but I figure I'm going to try to make a mold out of it. So I'm going to press this down some, roughly in the shape that I want. I have a feeling I might not have enough here, but we'll give it a go, see what happens. And yeah, I'm going to spread that out a little bit more. It's probably thinner than I want it to be. Okay, and I'm just going to press that in and hope it doesn't go through. And then I generally push it up and around a little bit so that I have an area for the resin to stop when I pour it in. And some of this excess I'm just going to push around the corners some. And see if I can't get this up a little bit. And you do have to work fairly fast with it because, like I said, it does start to set up pretty quickly. And I'm really hoping that I haven't gone all the way through. And I have a little bit, so I'm just going to pull some over and fix that little spot and hope that I don't take it away from another area too badly. So I probably should have used a little bit more, but it's trial and error. That's what I'm saying. You might want to consider just going ahead and ordering 2 if you decide to give this a go, because the first one you will be playing and figuring it out and learning. Okay, so now that's got to set for a little bit. Let it set up. So I'm going to turn the camera off and come back in a few minutes, and we will take it out and take a look at our mold. So see you in a few minutes. Okay, I'm back. It has set up. It's probably been about 10 minutes. I was a little bit worried about the thin spot in the back, so I rubbed some caulk on it, and I don't know which way is up here from this angle. So I did put some caulk on it. It dries clear and it dries pretty quickly. Just rubbed it on the back of it. One thing that you should know when you're doing this, you want to make sure that whatever you are putting into this mold putty is clean. I know I had done one of my little salvage pieces, and this is the original one, and I put it in the mold, and the dirt that was on it came off in the mold, and then it came off on the resin. So you do want to make sure that whatever you're pushing into the putty is clean. So I'm going to peel this out, and we have a mold. So what I'm going to do now is mix up some of the resin and put it in there, and I'm going to go ahead and do a two-part. I'm going to do the peacock in white, and then I'm going to give him a colored background so that you see both parts. So I just pick up these clear little shot glasses, plastic, from the dollar store. It's like 24 of them for $1. And I'm using the Amazing, whichever way is up, Amazing casting resin. And it dries white if you don't add any color to it, and you use equal parts of it. So I also grabbed some measuring spoons from the dollar store. It's a set with the measuring cups too. I don't want to detach them because then I will probably lose the spoons. So depending on the size of your projects, I'm going to use a half a teaspoon for this particular one. I think I'm going to use the quarter teaspoon for just the white part. And I can't tell what's shadow and what's me. So hopefully you're seeing what I'm doing, because what I'm seeing on my screen is shadow. So I'm pouring equal parts into the measuring spoon, and I found this to be much better than trying to pour it into the little mixing cup that comes with the resin, because I was spilling it. I feel like I have much more control with the measuring spoons. Okay, so that's the first part. And now for the second part. Which way? Here we are. Okay. Here's the second part, and again, it's the same amount of both parts, just a tad more. Okay. Pour that in, and I just use the little wooden stick that comes with it to scrape anything out of the spoon. Now the instructions are going to say that you pour the first part into one cup and you pour the second part into the other cup, and then you put them both in the same cup and mix them together. You really don't have to do all that. The cups that come with it do have measurements on them, but if you're using the measuring spoons, then you don't need to do that. So it's a little bit filmy looking when you first mix them, but you stir it a little bit until it turns clear. And it doesn't take long. You just got to make sure that there's no white swirlies left in it. Okay, so that's clear now. And then I have a plastic spoon. Since I'm doing a two-part pour process, I'm going to use the plastic spoon to get it into where I want it to be. I feel like I have a little more control of it, of where it's going that way. And again, this sets up pretty quickly. So you do need to work with a little bit of speed. And I might not need all of this for this particular piece. So I do have another mold set off to the side that I can pour the rest into. Oh, we gotta get some in his little head. Make sure the feathers are filled. And I don't know why this happens, but it seems like the thinner the area that you pour, the longer it takes to turn white. And when it turns white, you know it's set. The thicker it is, the faster it turns white. The thinner it is, the longer it takes. Which seems a little bass-ackwards, but that's how it is. Okay, well that actually worked out pretty perfectly. Although I got a drip where I didn't want it. Don't know if I'll be able to do anything about that or not on the outcome, but there that is. So we're going to let that set up, and I will come back when it's white and we'll do the second part. Okay, so here I just want to point out to you what I was saying about thicker and thinner. You can see this mold is a little bit deeper, and you can see that it's starting to turn white, whereas this one is very shallow and it's not really turning at all yet. So I just wanted you to see that difference, and I'll be back in a little bit.